everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. When I say I have not filmed a makeup video in so long. I did my friend's makeup. I'm very zoomed in, one sec. Okay, that's a bit better. I did my friend's makeup about a week and a half ago now. She looked absolutely fabulous, if I do say so myself. And after I put the picture up, I had so many questions asking like, oh my god, are you taking appointments? Are you taking appointments for Christmas? Blah blah blah. And unfortunately I'm not, but I can show you step by step exactly how I achieved that look and absolutely everything I used on Cleo. I'll pop the picture up here. I will actually add it to my highlights on my Instagram if you want to go back and screenshot, because I find sometimes when you're doing makeup it's actually easier to look at the photo and copy it. I will leave all the products I used down below just so you don't have to keep going through the video if you're trying to buy stuff. So I hope you all enjoy. So I'm gonna start with brows. Lately I am loving a more, what would I say, like a natural brow. Not very, I don't know why I'm so flushed by the way, because it's actually freezing. Lately I'm loving a really natural brow. I don't really fill them in, I literally just use powder. So we are all zoomed in now. I am taking a brush from Carter Beauty. I am taking the window dressing brow palette from Carter Beauty. I absolutely love this. It comes with a brow gel, a little pencil and two powder shades. I'll show you how I do one eyebrow. I take the darkest powder in, literally just tap my brush in it, just brush up my brows, and I just put the powder along the shape of my brow and just blend it out. And then what I do is I literally push my brush into the line and flick it up, and it blends out the line. And I just literally keep blending until this kind of line is gone. I don't mind it being a bit harsher on this side because obviously that's the end of my eyebrow. And I just dip into the powder again, and I have Dead to Me on. I had to rewatch it because the new season came out and I literally totally forgot what happened in season 1 and season 2 and season 3. Is season 4 the new one? I don't know, but I have it on in the background. I have to have something on because I live with my boyfriend, and like even though he has his headset on I don't know, I just feel really awkward when I'm talking. I know like his parents can probably hear me, but anyway, like I was saying, I don't mind the end being a bit harsher, and I kind of do like to fill in this little line, take my spoolie, go over the front and just make sure there's not really any gaps, that it's all blended in seamlessly. And that's literally my eyebrow done. I used to hate doing my makeup because my eyebrows would literally take me so long. Can you hear Aaron? If you hear shouting, laughing, bawling, it's Aaron. And then what I do is I take the window dressing brow gel. Sometimes I take the pencil, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to do it today. And I literally just brush through my eyebrows. And that is it, eyebrows done. And then obviously when I am doing my eyeshadow, I will carve underneath. I'm going to pop off, do the other eyebrow, and then we can start on our eyes. That is my eyebrows finished. I am now going to prep my face before I start on my eyes. On Cleo I used this. This is the Bperfect. It's basically Penny's version of the Bobbi Brown face base. I love this. I've heard it's not an exact dupe, but it's similar. Do you know, it has similar kind of concepts. I absolutely love this. And then again on Cleo, everything I'm showing you I use on Cleo, so I'm not going to keep saying that, but I'm literally showing you exactly how I did Cleo's makeup and exactly what I used. This is the Sculpted by Aimme beauty base. There is magic in this. Literally just going to start with a good dollop of this. My skin is actually quite dry lately, so I am going to put quite a good bit. And literally just rub it in with your hands. I absolutely love this. The smell of this is unreal. This Pennies one really makes me want to buy the Bobbi Brown face base, because if it's anything like this, I know I would absolutely love it. And then I'm just going to take a Rebel Luna or 11 to blend out my Sculpted by Aimme beauty base, and just pop a bit And that is it, literally. Blend it in just like that. So we are literally going to let that soak in now while we do our eyes, and our base will be absolutely ready for a foundation when we're finished. When I had got to Cleo's, I realised I had forgotten my P. Louise base, and she was actually going to her boyfriend's 21st birthday, so I knew she wanted full coverage glam, especially on her eyes. She has massive unreal eyelids for makeup, so I knew I had to like do absolutely perfect eyeshadow, because even when her eyes are open you can see it. So I actually went in with the Sculpted by Aimme Brighten Up concealer as a base for her eyeshadow, and it actually applied on top of it really nice. So I'm just gonna add some of that onto my eyelids, and I'm gonna take a Peaches and Cream. This brush, it is a PC50 PC50. This is the flattest concealer brush I've ever seen in my life. It's fabulous. Just gonna carve out my eyebrows and just pat this all over my lid. Makeup is actually just my passion, and I really fell out of love with it, and now that I'm like back loving makeup, I just can't get enough of it, to be honest. And I actually have no eyelashes on, which is really rare for me. I actually had to cancel my eyelash appointment last week. I didn't realise I was actually working, but it's actually worked out for the better for me, because I can do this makeup look, whereas if I had eyelashes I would not do this makeup look, because I use gel liner, and I just do not use gel liner when I have eyelashes on. The trick with using concealer as an eye base is a brush like this. This is the R08 from Red Balloon, and literally just keep patting on that eye base until it is matte, and the brush will literally stick to your skin as you're doing it. You basically treat it as if you were using the P. Louise base. Okay, so the eyeshadow palette I used was the Muted palette from Bperfect. This eyeshadow palette, oh my god, amazing. If I keep coming really close to the camera, it's because I'm grabbing brushes. The first shade I actually went in with is Soft, which is this shade here. And basically what I did was I just dusted it all over her eyelid when I knew she was wanting makeup to last all night long. I did actually set the base. I know people say, oh, it's more intense when you don't set the base, but I find it does not last as long, especially if you have oily eyelids, and I definitely do. And even Cleo told me herself that she literally, the only part of her face that is oily is her eyelids. So that is a good little tip. I know it might not be as intense, and you might have to go in and re-intensify it, and it might take you even longer to do your eyeshadow, but it will last 10 times as long. So I'm literally just taking a big R06 really big fluffy brush and just very messily blending that soft shade all over my eye. Then I'm gonna go in with an R20. These are literally my favorite ever blending brushes. And then I went in with the shade Play and Pulse, which is these two here mixed together, and I just very softly started to create a semicircle. I don't like to put product from here in, especially when I knew Cleo wanted a really bright inner corner. She wanted that like really bright eye look, so I don't put eyeshadow in there because I find it really closes out your eye, especially anyone with smaller eyes. So yeah, I'll literally just be taking it from here down around. Now I'm literally going to go back in with that R06 and the colour Soft and just soften all that up. And then back in just to deepen up, and then back in with the R06 to just re-blend it out. This is what eyeshadow is all about. Intensify it, blend it, intensify it, blend it, intensify it, blend it. That is how you get the perfect blend. Now I'm going to go in with this shade here, Classic, and just deepen up this very outer section. And then back in my R20 and blend again, and then back in with the R06. So now that I have the kind of outer part of the eyeshadow done, I'm going to take a flat fluffy brush. This is the BPE 10. It's basically from Bperfect. And I'm going to go in with the shade Silent and Soft mixed. And I'm just going to pat it in on my inner corner. And now going back in with my R20, and I'm going to pop a little bit more of play on it, only a small bit, and blend in between the brown and the white. And then back in with that Bperfect brush and blend over it again. Back in with that R20 and blend again. Now it's time for the fun bit. We're going to start adding the liner and start deepening up the outer portion of our eye. This eyeliner everyone needs in their life. This is the Supreme Gel Liner from Carter Beauty. I have never had a makeup product where I've actually loved the brush ever. This brush, I don't know what it is about it. It's just so thin and flat. It's so easy to do eyeliner with. So I am going to use this. With this eyeliner, Inglot Jawline is your best friend, like most eyeliners are. They get very dry, they crack. Literally one little drop of this stuff and it turns this eyeliner just literally, it actually kind of turns it into the Inglot 77 gel liner, to be honest. I have that. It's very good, but this is just better in my opinion. Oh, take it in motions. Don't do it really in one big swoop. That does not work. Then I don't bring it all the way to the end. I like to leave it and take a pencil brush and just start to blend it, because I will be adding black, so it's actually easier to blend it first and then add the black eyeshadow over it. Perfect. And now just again out with that Bperfect palette, I'm taking the black and just again, like I said, eyeshadow is a process. Slow and steady wins the race. Just gonna start adding it up and then go back in with the R20 with a little bit of volume and play, and just very gently blend that black up into the eyeshadow. And literally just keep repeating this until you have the black blended the way you want it to be. That is my black all blended out. Because Cleo had such big eyelids, I was actually able to do this on her when I was actually finished. But what I did with her was I went in with the shade Tune. It's like a muted kind of yellow, and I just actually popped that between the brown and the white just as a blending colour. Just very gently blended that in. I probably should have done it on myself before I put my eyeliner on, but it's alright. And that is how I achieved the eyeshadow look. On Cleo in the picture it does look a bit lighter. That is because I don't know what is going on with my phone, but it just washes out pictures so bad. So on the camera it will look different than what Cleo's look like, if you get me, because it won't look as washed out on the camera. I'm gonna pop off, do my other eye, and then pop my eyelashes on. I am using the Ellie Kelly Leo lashes from her Bperfect collection. I have not had to put eyelashes on myself maybe a year. In maybe a year, so wish me luck. We're not going to dwell on the fact that it took me nearly 20 minutes to put on these eyelashes and they still don't look the same. One is higher than the other. We're moving on to base. My favourite bit, Cleo wanted really full coverage. She has a lot of freckles, so she was like, cover them up. So when I say this base is not for the faint-hearted, it is very full coverage. We're starting off with the Sculpted by Aimme Tint and Glow. For me, this kind of acts like Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I wouldn't really wear this on its own. I would always kind of pair it with something, even though it is actually, even though it says it's a tint, it is actually kind of high coverage. And I'm literally just taking my primer brush and just going to blend this in. Look at the glow that gives, and even the coverage. Like, you know, you can still see a little bit of red peeking through, but it really just is that extra step for a really full coverage base. Then for foundation now, I went in with the two of these, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless and the Sculpted by Aimme Satin Silk. My Sculpted by Aimme is in 3.5N Light Plus and my Charlotte Tilbury is in 7 Neutral. I'm literally just going to blend them on the back of my hand. I do just kind of half a pump of the Charlotte Tilbury, half a pump of Sculpted by Aimme, and I'm literally just going to take a foundation brush, mix them together and just paint it around on my face. And I just like to work with that first, blend it in, and then keep adding instead of adding loads, and then have to try blend it all out. Okay, so I'm going to do another half pump of each. You could just do 2 full pumps. I just like to do it in halves. I feel like with makeup, when you kind of work slower and add product in little bits, your makeup comes out 10 times better than if you were to just put a load of foundation on your face and try to blend it, you know. I really hope Aaron doesn't come in and say dinner, because I am not ready for my dinner. Same for concealer. I like to just add a little bit at a time and blend it. So I used 2 concealers. I used the Bperfect Chroma Cover and I went back in with that Sculpted by Aimme. I went in with the Sculpted by Aimme first, just because that is the brighter colour. Just because I don't like when under your eyes are too bright. And I just lined it across here. I feel like this really helps to lift your face. And then literally with the Bperfect, I just added the smallest ever bit, just to kind of deepen back up the concealer. And then I took 2 brushes, again the PC, what's it called, 50, and the Rebel Luna R08, and I literally just pat this concealer in everywhere I want it. It's how you get maximum coverage, by really gentle small pats. Basically place it everywhere you like. I always like to bring mine down the nose, and then with this again, pat pat pat, and then just kind of when I get to this end section, I literally just drag it all the way up, just like that. And then what I do is take my Rebel Luna brush and very gently, because I want to keep all that coverage, blend out any harsh lines. And that is how I keep my extreme full coverage under my eyes. I'm going to pop off, I'm going to do the concealer on the rest of my face, just kind of speed this up. I literally just place it on my forehead, my nose, my chin, and I'll come back and show you the cream products I'm going to use. Okay, our concealer is done. I look crazy now. I promise in a few minutes we won't. I'm so excited. I am taking my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. Mine is in fair to medium, which is honestly a bit light, but it is very buildable. I know mine is literally on its final stages because it's starting to explode everywhere. This you want to do in parts, definitely. Take a very dense brush, little tapping motions back and forth, just to get the kind of base of it blended out, and then you can start moving up wherever you want. I like to kind of keep it in the one spot I like to still have a very kind of bright concealer between my contour and bronzer, so I'm just gonna blend and then add more as I want. I'm gonna add a small bit down here and blend it out. Perfect. That is absolutely dark enough because I like to go in again with powder over. But look at the difference between her and her. Beautiful. And I'm literally just going to do the very same thing on the other side. I like to add a little bit just kind of here on my chin, just to kind of shorten my chin. And then just a very small bit here to just shorten my forehead. Cleo was adamant that she wanted a very bright blush, so I popped this Madebymitchell blush. This is in shade Sweet Cheeks on her, just as kind of a primer for the powder blush I was going to use. And then again I just took a dense brush and very lightly tapped it into the skin for a perfect blend. It kind of looks intense now, but when I put my setting powder over it, it actually won't be intense. That's why I like to just put this down as kind of, it's like that tint and glow. We put it on before primer to kind of give us a little bit of coverage before we even put on our foundation. Now that all our creams are on, we're going to start adding powder back. Laura Mercier translucent powder and a beauty blender is going to make your makeup last all goddamn day. I swear to God, this powder is fab, but with a beauty blender it is even better. This is the Carter Beauty one. I find it's actually a really nice shape. Take your blending brush, I'm literally just going to blend out any creases under my eyes and push that powder right in. Not bake, literally push it into your skin. You're going to look really dry and your face is literally going to look flat, but don't worry, because the setting powder or the setting spray then is going to bring it all back to life. I literally like to put this all over my face with a beauty blender. It just, oh my god, it lasts so much longer. What I like to do as well is just kind of bake under my contour and just push it in. Now that we have set our face, we can start adding powders on top. My face literally looks as matte and as dry as it can look. This Perfect Storm palette from Bperfect, oh my god, I've fallen in love with this. I bought it and I think I used it once maybe, and I just have so much makeup that it kind of got lost. And recently I was organising my eyeshadow palettes and I found it in my eyeshadow palette drawer, and it shouldn't have even been in there, so hence obviously why I forgot about it. This brightening shade is amazing. Don't use this to set your makeup, girls. Use it after you have powdered your face, literally just to swoop under your eyes, on your chin, on your forehead, just to brighten. And this bronzer shade is my absolute favourite. I like to take a skinny brush. People love to go in with these big massive fluffy brushes like this. It's just going everywhere. Your face is looking muddy, you're not contoured, you're, yeah, okay, you're bronzed, but it's not defining it. So literally tap tap tap, tap it off. Start in the hollow, very gently blend. This stuff is actually quite pigmented as well, so literally take a small bit. With anything I like to start small anyway and just build it up, but with this especially, look at the difference already. Blend, blend, blend. And I always like to blend it up to my temples, and then obviously when I blend the blush on top of it. But look at how much like more controlled that is than if I literally just went in with a big massive brush and did it all on my face. Okay, now that we are nice and bronzed, before I pop on that brightening powder, I am just gonna pop on the blush. This is literally my favorite part ever, is blush. I'm taking this Inglot brush. Look at this blush from Bperfect. I literally take the tiniest bit of this and just pop it over where I have that cream blush, bouncing the brush back and forward just not to give any harsh lines on the face. And then what I'll do is go back in again with my bronzer brush just to blend between those two shades, just make sure there's no harsh lines. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to pop in with a brush like this. And I'm just going to pop that brighten shade right underneath my eye. I didn't know dinner was ready. I just had to pop off. Aaron came in, my dinner was ready. I'm going to pop on my highlighter. I absolutely love popping my highlighter on with a fan brush. I'm going to take the Blaze palette from Character Beauty and I'm going to take the shade Strike, which is this goldy colour here, and just pop it on the high points of my face. Look at the glow that this highlighter gives. It is absolutely fab. And now we are going to set our face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. There's two setting sprays that I swear by: MAC Fix Plus and Charlotte Tilbury. MAC Fix Plus is very good for melting your makeup together. I always find, like, if I hate the way my base makeup looks, I jump in with MAC Fix Plus and it just melts it all together. I don't know, it's like magic. MAC Fix Plus is absolutely fab, but if I want a setting spray that is literally going to make my makeup last all day, all night, it is the Charlotte Tilbury one. I literally drench my face in this, like dripping, and then just take a palette and fan it until the setting spray is soaked in. On Cleo, I used the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Bare, and I used the lipstick from Character Beauty in the shade Debbie, and I used the lip tint in the shade Debbie. So I am gonna pop the Kylie lip liner on. These lip liners are one of the best I've ever used. Okay, that is that lip liner on, and then I am going to add a little bit of Saoirse. I know on Cleo with this lip liner it was a bit too light. I'm just going to pop a little bit of Chrissy lip tint from Character Beauty on top of this lipstick, just to kind of tone it down a bit. And then, just because I like a really shiny lip, I'm taking this Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This is in the shade Ice. This is my new favourite lip gloss. It's absolutely fab. It literally makes your lips look like they are wet. And this is my finished makeup look. I absolutely love it. Honestly, I think I have found my new favourite foundation combo. Like, I do not have good skin. I do not have smooth skin. I do not have, like, I have such bad pores all around here, and I just feel like this foundation really complements my skin, if you get me. It doesn't sink into my pores, it doesn't sink into my fine lines. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope I've given you some tips. I hope that hopefully you'll take something away from this. Honestly, maybe you've been dying to buy the Charlotte Tilbury foundation, just didn't know if it was worth it, or maybe the setting spray, or maybe even the Laura Mercier powder, something that is a little bit more expensive. This is your sign, girls, to go buy those products. They are absolutely fab. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will have more makeup content on the way. I absolutely love doing makeup. It's just, it's my passion. I feel like I've really like fallen back in love with it. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you all in my next one.